Hello, and welcome to another update video about GALA. Yeah, GALA moved above resistance, indicating it wants to take the more bullish, more direct pathway. So support did hold, support was even touched, okay? And we broke above Fibonacci resistance. We want to talk about where the next targets are and where GALA could be heading. So things are starting to look promising. Things are moving quickly in the crypto world, which is why I made you aware of this potential upcoming breakout already on, I think it was Wednesday, Tuesday. That will hopefully soon enough. But bear in mind, the overall chart doesn't look very promising. We basically have a lifetime downtrend. On some charts, this move down is longer here, or this move up initially, but it is a chart that made all-time lows. And even on charts where this initial move starts a little lower, it doesn't matter. We've got 5 waves down, so it's just a bit concerning. You know what we're dealing with here on this chart. However, we can still watch for a decent rally, because if GALA wants to participate in the bull run, we can look for the area between 6 cents and 33 as potential target range. Yes, it's a huge area, and it will really depend on how long the A wave stretches out and how low the B wave goes for us to calculate then the C wave. So the main challenge in the coming weeks will be to determine where this wave 2 ends. Only really above 33.6 cents we can talk about new all-time highs, okay? There is also no way for me to calculate an all-time high target with a lifetime downtrend chart, which means it made only, well, it's basically a lifetime downtrend. It just never created an impulse in its lifetime. That's the problem. However, we all know how quickly GALA can run, which is why we were very sensitive and on high alert, basically, to a turnaround down there. So everybody who was watching the videos last week, this week, knows that. So nevertheless, we want to take now, I think it's important just to get an idea of where we stand, looking at the bigger picture. And I will not rule out that it will go to all-time highs. However, I can really only take into account the chart history, and it allows for a decent rally in wave 2 before new all-time lows are coming. Yes. Oops, let's go to the daily chart, or even something shifted here. So yeah, so it allows for basically a decent rally before new all-time lows are coming. Can just shift this a little bit. Yep. But of course, it could be that we break above resistance, okay? It's just a pivot point. It's basically just something that tells us, okay, above 33.6 cents, we have to expect new all-time highs. This is the critical level where this wave 2 will get far less likely. I have sketched out an A, B, C structure for wave 2, but if it forms a wave 4 and a wave 5 as well, then we've got 5 waves up. Then we can watch for 3 waves down. Then we can take the route to new all-time highs, okay? So this would be the bullish pathway, which, however, is going to be a mirror count with the yellow count until we basically have 3 waves complete. Then they will diverge. Then they will move away from each other. The more bullish pathway will form a higher low and a higher high. And then we've got some clarity that GALA wants to produce something more bullish. But either way, that doesn't matter in the short term, because the trend is up. Especially the multi-hour chart trend is up. So we go to the 4-hour chart. Oops, didn't want to do that. So if we zoom in, we have a bit of a questionable move up here. I'm not entirely sure what this is. I did count it as 5 waves. You can also count it as 3 waves. So that's a bit ambiguous. But I have counted it as a potential A wave up, basically wave A in wave A. Yeah. Yes, it's a bit... it is a bit messy, but that has to do with the idea, or the fact that an A wave can be a 3-wave move. So it can be an A, B, C structure, which would then form larger A, pull back in B, move up in C. There are other interpretations here for sure. So let's double check them. So first of all, the price did hold here the 38.2 Fib level. It did hold our support region. The idea is that we continue with the uptrend against 1.4 cents basically, and that a breakout point to the upside is the 1.97 cent level. So resistance was broken, which was the signal that we are already en route higher. So I will take that resistance level now off the chart. I still cannot rule out, though, that wave B is still in the making. It's not a very likely scenario, but we only have 3 waves up of the Friday low. So that is still a possibility that we cannot ignore, okay? Another possibility would be that this here essentially was wave 3, this here was a wave 4, and this now is a wave 5, and A wave is 5 waves. That's the problem with an A wave. An A wave can form 5 waves. We don't know that in advance, okay? So these are the 2 possibilities, but either way, in both, the trend was supposed to be up against 1.4 cents. But that makes it difficult now to really say, okay, you know, what is going to be the key target for the next move? Because it could be a B wave, okay? Or we're just now finishing the A wave, which means all we can do really in this messy structure is to move up support. So at the moment, support, if this is now forming an extension here and we have 5 waves up now, then support will be a little higher. Support is now 1.41 cent. So I would rather leave it as where it was until we get the first deeper pullback, which can then be used again, for example, for scaling in, like the yellow box at the moment. So I would leave it as it is now. Keep the door open for higher. Against the last swing low, we can of course push higher. Next resistance is basically here, this level at 2.6 cents. So that hasn't changed to previous updates, right? So I made you aware if we get above this previous structural resistance and fib resistance, we should get to the next main level here, which is at 2.6 cents. I don't have a very clear view of what this is, okay, structurally. It looks impulsive and I'm focused on the upside, but it is some kind of a messy structure which is not entirely clear. So don't seek precision in a chart where we don't have it, and instead just, I would say, just focus on higher against the 1.4 cent level. If you're trading this in the very short term, you can focus on the last swing low, basically 1.76 cents. That's micro support. And if you really want, I don't know, you know what time frame you're trading, but then you use the 50% fib level. If you're really looking at the micro structures, 1.96 cents. So that means a break below 1.96 cents, a sustained break, would be a first warning that this is already coming down, and then we would likely be in the C wave and test the yellow box again. So I think here it's now a little bit of waiting for clarity to get a bit of a better understanding of what this structure actually is. There are too many possibilities, but basically we're focusing on higher against 1.4 cents. The structure is too messy for anything that is more, you know, more clear. But I would focus on 2.6 cents for the next target, and then 2.9 cents will be the next one afterwards in terms of key resistance, and then we can get to 3.5 cents. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this pushes higher still in this A wave, of course, in yellow wave A. And I think the next, let's say, reliable pullback trade setup will be when the B wave shows, but we are not there yet. So yeah, that's my update about GALA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.